Shannon. How are you?
Hi, Karen. How are you?
Good. Tell us about Cairnwood, your experiences with Cairnwood.
Oh, well, I absolutely love Cairnwood. I had my wedding here back in 2003 before I worked here. And then I started working here in 2006, and they can never get rid of me after that. I absolutely love it. I love that we're open to the public, that we do history tours every day at 11, because we're a historic house museum, and we welcome everyone to come in and see the estate. And also we have these fabulous special events throughout the year. Our next event is actually Landmarks and Lights, which is in conjunction with the Historic District. So that's with the Cathedral in Glencairn and Cairnwood, and we'll all be lit up. It's
Christmas soon.
It's fabulous, except warmer weather. It's on June 15th. It starts at dusk and it ends at 11. And it's one of those few lovely evenings that you can just walk the grounds and enjoy. We're going to have classical music piped through. And it's going to be fabulous. And then a couple months later, we have our summer wine tasting on the terrace. And last year, we had about 300 people attend.
Now, will that be in the main building here?
It will be. It'll be here at Cairnwood and on the terrace, and it's very popular. It's a very popular event with our members. We have a membership program that we kicked off a couple of years ago, and it's $35 to be a basic member and $75 for a family membership, and you receive free admission to all of the events throughout the year. So it's definitely worthwhile.
And today, I'll tell you, at the Carriage Event today, I am learning so much about the history here that I wasn't aware of. So I think it's amazing. There is so much here to see, so much to do.
Sure, there's so many different levels. I love the Carriage Event because we talk about our Cairnwood farms that were originally across the street, across from Huntington Pike, and it's one of the few times that our antique carriage collection is open to the masses as opposed to just when you take a special tour, which we do them on our history tours every day at 11. We are available as well, but it's a great event for kids. It's a very kid-friendly event as opposed to some of the other events which are more adult-friendly. So we have something in there for everybody.
Martha here is a Hampshire sheep. She's going to be sheared later today. She'll be up there by the tree, and my wife will come and shear her coat because she's way overdue. And we have
Martha's telling you.
Martha's saying that she's tired of standing here on the pavement.
Okay.
But we have Martha, and we have a few period chickens here from the same breeds that were on this farm in the 1890s. And inside here we have a display of all the Cairnwood farm ledgers and information, because most people think of Cairnwood just as an estate, big fancy house, but it was actually an operating farm that had an orchard and a poultry plant and gardens, and they kept bees and just about every agricultural operation you could think of. The tables here tell the story of Cairnwood Farms. When John Pitcairn bought this land in the 1890s, this was essentially all farmland. He bought up lots of farms. They tore down the Knight farmhouse to build Cairnwood here on the hill, but the other farms and their outbuildings were pretty much left intact for him until later on when the area was developed. So across the street, or across the pike here, there was a dairy farm and there was a vegetable farm. They had large greenhouses here as well. And we have some of the ledgers and drawings from the day books that show what people were buying every day, and you can follow through the day books all the different fruits and vegetables throughout the year, because back then we don't have big refrigeration and freezer units like we do, so people ate along with the seasons. And so you would eat some vegetables in the spring until you got to the late fall and winter, when you were back to eating stored vegetables, carrots, turnips, and things like that you had put in your cold cellar or canned for use later on. A little bit further down, we have we have a drawing of the dairy barn and the setup, and we have one of the original dairy bottles from Cairnwood Dairy. And in fact, right behind me, we have one of the original Cairnwood Farms dairy wagons that was used to deliver milk to the area. The dairy operated until 1948, when it was finally shut down because all they sold was raw milk. And it was a time when people were worried about disease and they wanted their milk pasteurized, so it was decided that they would just shut the dairy down.
And we're here with Clara, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the carriages here.
Hi, these carriages all belong to John and Gertrude Pitcairn and their descendants. We have this carriage here is one of the older ones. This was the carriage we believe John and Gertrude took to their wedding in January 1884. And it was a slushy day and raining, so they would be happy to have the closed carriage. It's called an omnibus. We also have John's Rockaway carriage over here, which he would have taken to the train station, being driven by his coachman, Preston Slow. And this is Preston Slow's winter livery. And you can see John would sit in the back where his picture is right now.
And then the front, we have a bench right here.
Where the coachman, okay, Preston Slow, would have sat. We also have a couple sleighs over here. There's a pony sleigh and a cutter sleigh. This is a spring wagon.
We'll walk over here to this one. And what is a spring wagon?
It's just a large wagon that could carry a group of people if they needed that. On the far side is another sleigh. That's a bob sleigh. On the floor underneath you can see the pole for the harness that has bells on it.
That looks like a nice Christmas carriage.
Yes, it does. It reminds us of the song, doesn't it? Now, the bells actually served a very practical purpose. They would warn other carriages and pedestrians that a sleigh was coming.
Okay, and how about this one over here? Can you tell me about this one?
That's a lady's carriage. That's a Phaeton Surrey. That was the eldest daughter, Vera's carriage that she would drive. You can see the fringed top, which gives a
looks elegant
indication that it's a woman's carriage. So these are two ladies' carriages. And then the next smaller one is called a basket-sided trap.
And what is that, and what does that mean?
A trap means that it has an area where something can be trapped in it. And in this particular carriage, you can lift the back seat out to put luggage in, and then you close the seat, and the luggage is trapped back there. Next to it is a buggy.
We could just walk over there.
A typical buggy.
Oh, that looks like something out of a movie, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Mm-hmm. And then on the far side, the last carriage we haven't looked at.
Is this one over here?
This is another trap.
Okay.
And this is a trap because to get into the back seat, you would need to fold one of the front seats over and step through the space, and then when that seat was closed, you would be trapped in the back. This carriage was owned by Cara Glenn, who was Gertrude Pitcairn's sister. Okay. Mm-hmm. On the far side of the carriage house here, you'll see that we have a farm cart. That was one of the original 2 farm carts that Cairnwood Farms had, and this is the only one that remains today. We have photographs of the other one.
The carriages all look like they've been kept in very good condition, and what does that take? What has, you know, because they're old.
Actually been refinished. You can see the plaque on the wall. They've all been restored by Abner Lapp of Lapp's Coach Shop in Intercourse, Pennsylvania. So we keep them in here and we don't take them out of here because they are museum quality. When we have events such as this today, the Carriage Event, we have outside carriage companies that will bring carriages in to give rides.
Okay, thank you so much, Clara.
You're welcome.
Hi, how are you, everyone?
Fine, thank you.
All of you ladies look so beautiful. Tell me about your outfits. We'll start. What is your name, and tell me about your outfit.
My name is Beth Carson, and this is a reproduction of a dress that would be typical that a Victorian lady would wear about from the 1885 period. It's called late bustle, as you can see from the back. There's lots of...
You got a little bustle gown.
Yeah. This is called a walking suit. That's very tailored, and you see a lady wearing this during the daytime as she would be doing business or shopping, you know, down a street during the daytime.
And you have your little...
my parasol. Yeah, this is actually, it's an antique, and oh, sorry, Helene. And I recovered this. This was completely shattered, so the inside's actually sheared and the outside is striped. So,
And that was so women didn't bake out in the sun like we do today. They protect their beautiful skin from it.
This was considered an essential accessory from the time period. Okay. Yep.
And hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
What is your name?
I'm Kelsey.
And tell me about your outfit today.
This is a natural form dress, and
Mommy made it.
It's very nice, and I love your little hat too.
Oh, thank you.
Pins, a lot of pins and jewels in the hat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have one antique pin. Not really sure where it's at, but it has ember, and the other one that's a recreation, right? A lot of the fabrics that when I recreate the dresses, I try to stay as authentic to the period as I can, because a lot of the fabrics today, sometimes you get the polyesters and things, they're real heavy and you make you sweat. So I try to stay with natural fabrics. So it's silks or silk taffetas or cottons, because you have a lot of layers underneath, because we all are wearing corsets and petticoats and chemises, so there's a lot of stuff underneath to get the right shape. So and it's with heat and humidity, so you want the fabrics to breathe. So her dress is a silk taffeta with stripes, and mine's actually a silk linen, and she's got some velvet accessories on and some real pretty cotton woven tatted lace, and and she's got velvet bows and accessories, and her parasol is also an antique that was recovered too. So,
Very nice, very nice. Hello.
Hi, my name's Casey. I know that this dress was a early bustle, and right now I don't have the bustle on. And well, all I know that is this a Victorian, Mom? This is Victorian silk.
That's very pretty.
Silk, and it's my mom's, and it's like and she also has one of her extra chains, chatelaine.
Is that what they did? They clipped the purse
To the dress. Yeah, and I know, are these bronze antique? The bronze antique buttons and crocheted shawl.
actual gold paint on it. That's pretty. Yep. Is this one antique too? Mm-hmm. Yes, this one is antique.
Parasol was recovered. I left it in the building for people to see. It's green and white, and it's my first parasol too.
Love your hat.
Thank you. Mom made it. This used to be my sister's outfit. So yeah.
It's passed down to you now.
Yep.
Perfect fit too, right?
Yeah. The first time wearing hat pins, painful, but not so much.
I love the feathers.
Thank you. This is the first time I'm wearing a corset underneath. It's actually quite comfortable, and they help. I don't know that much about corsets. I like stand up straight and posture. Right? And the pin for the clock, and that's like one of my most favorite parts. That's real gold, is it?
It's bronze, and it's called a fleur-de-lis pin.
Oh, and yeah, because it has a fleur-de-lis. Ow, it's got pokes. And it's like my first dress I ever had, actually.
The gloves are a little bit different too.
Oh, thank you. The crocheted.
Very pretty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know that much about that.
I think you did very well. Very
you.
good, and I think you know a lot. Hi, how are you?
Hi, my name is Kat Stelzer. I was an intern here at Cairnwood this past fall, and I helped to put together an exhibit of the dresses that were owned by the Pitcairn family. It was so much fun, and they were on display at an event called Cairnwood by Candlelight that they do each year. It's a really...
Is that in June? Is that coming up in June?
No, that's in the winter time.
Oh, okay, that's right.
December.
We'll be there too.
Yeah, it's in December. It's a beautiful, beautiful event.
This is a beautiful outfit that you have on too. And oh, your glasses. Oh, let's see.
They actually fold, and then they...
Let me just see. Wow.
They're actually magnifiers.
Wow.
Now, a Victorian woman would have these probably set with her actual prescription, but these are a modern reproduction, and it's double magnified when it's closed, and then single magnify when it's open. My dress is from about the period of 1885. It's a cotton day dress, and I have on little Victorian shoes and crocheted gloves. The magnifier, I have on a day bonnet as opposed to a hat.
Okay. Can I just see your gloves?
Of course. Just in case the breeze blows, you wouldn't want your arm to show. So they actually go all the way up.
Oh, that's very pretty.
So Victorian women in the daytime didn't expose their chest.
Trying to tell me something?
No.
I'm just kidding.
It wasn't until the evening when they went very low décolletage.
Oh, okay.
That's when it was all right.
During the day, you stay covered up.
That's right, that's right.
And at night?
You were promoting something.
Unless...
Hi, how are you?
Hello, Lisa Parker Adams. I'm Cairnwood's History and Education Coordinator.
How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you.
Tell me about this. This is very interesting.
Well, this is an antique stereo viewer, and this version is from about 1898. And what it does is if you hold the goggles up to your eyes and you slide this bar, and you get a 3D version of the pictures. The bar is down here at the end. Okay, see?
Oh, I see.
I don't know where the focus should be for you.
Very interesting.
Isn't that wonderful?
You feel like you could walk right into that room there.
Right, right. So this is a wonderful teaching tool for us here. We use it when we're looking at architecture. Cairnwood's architecture is very much inspired by the European traditions. Different rooms for different functions, and you see different aspects of European architecture here in Cairnwood. So sometimes for tours, if we're doing a tour or a class, we can bring this out, and these are authentic cards that were used in the era, and we can show our visitors what these spaces that we're in here in Cairnwood are the American version of these European spaces. And it's fun to see. I mean, this is what people don't realize how many advances there were in the later part of the 19th century. So many things that we consider part of modern day life were from this period. They were really, you know, electricity in the 1880s. This was built in 1895, so the whole house was wired for electricity. But a lot of our modern inventions came from this Victorian, late Victorian Gilded Age era.
Very nice. Can you tell me about the dresses over here too?
Mine is a replica that I made. It's from about 1885. So it represents the height of the bustle, it's called, where it goes out in the back. So I've got a nice little cage underneath here that supports the layers of the dress. This is one that we have here in Cairnwood's collection. It was not worn by any of the family members, although we do have a wonderful collection of fashion from the lady of the house, Gertrude Starkey Pitcairn, but we only bring those out for one special exhibit every year, which is our Cairnwood by Candlelight before Christmas. This one, though, was made by one of the community members, and it was donated for us to use for teaching purposes. So it's from about 1884, around there.
And what is the material that was used?
Well, in the period, they used a lot of fine fabrics, a lot of silks and taffetas. They loved pattern. They loved embellishment. So this is actually pretty simple, but you can see these gorgeous ruffles around the bottom, lots of buttons. The model, the mannequin's a little bit small for this actual dress. The dress would have been really fitted through here because you were wearing a corset underneath, and then this back is meant to be really dramatic out the back. And the fabric actually, for the bodice, has little weights in the back so that it lays nicely. So it's fun to have, and it helps people envision what it was like when people were living here.
Hi, how are you today?
Just fine, thank you.
And your name?
Curry Fair, Robert Fair Caterers.
And tell us about what you have here behind me because it looks really yummy.
Absolutely. Today we have the strawberry shortcake, and we have lemonade for the guests that come in for the carriage rides.
Now, is this something back in time that they would have? They would have lemonade and they would have...
They would have lemonade, shortcake, things of that nature.
And tell me, you do other events here at Cairnwood?
There's a variety of events, weddings, corporate events, different things. Sometimes the family comes in from the past, Pitcairns. So there's a variety of things that happen here throughout the year.
Now, I just have to take a little bite here because it's too good to resist, and I have such a sweet tooth. Anyway, yeah. Can you hold that just for 1 second, please? This is a pound cake?
It's actually a strawberry recipe that goes in the actual shortcake itself. So it's a little bit different.
It looks really good. It's very light.
It is.
Really, really good. And you have layers of
strawberry. There's Driscoll's marinated into that as well, and then the Driscoll berry on top for garnish.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. Oh, this is really good. This would be really nice in the summer. Really nice for a wedding too. A wedding cake. I'm sure you probably do a lot of these.
They can do it. It just depends on the layers. Sometimes you can't stack because of the berries, but there's different ways you can do that in the wedding cake design. But certainly do that or on a pastry table.
I would like to have one of these. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You too.
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Dawn from Cafe Craze.
And tell me about your teas.
We make an all-natural artisan chai. We use all whole ingredients, loose leaf tea, ginger, cinnamon, vanilla beans, and cook it all together and then strain it into a concentrate. So it's all natural.
That sounds wonderful. And what do you have for me? You have an iced tea?
We have an iced summer mint, which we use peppermint leaves and green tea, organic green tea, with spices, same as the chai, but you have the mint overtones, so it's a very unique.
It's nice for the summer.
It's a unique chai.
I love chai tea anyway, so this is nice to try something for the summer that is cold.
And refreshing, yes, indeed. And we don't put milk in it. You can make it with water. Since it's a concentrate, you can either add milk and soy, or you can add water.
This is
really
good. I like
it. Thank you.
Really like it.
Thank you. Our cafe is located in Malvern, but we sell our chai online as well as through other grocery stores and restaurants and cafes.
What is your online address?
Cafe Craze, www.cafecraze.com.
Well, croquet was very popular in the Victorian era. It was very popular. A lot of lawn sports were popular because it's one of the few things that men and women could do together.
Few things.
Yes, few things that we could do together. Actually, it was in the 1900 Olympics. It was that popular. Basically, you're hitting the ball
through here.
Through the little wickets, they're called.
Oh, well, I didn't see the ones down
there. Right, through the wickets in a certain pattern, hitting and then coming back and hitting the wicket, and the person who gets to the end is the winner.
Oh, okay. And this is something men and women did do together.
Yes.
What is this little post?
Oh, that just shows you the order of play.
Oh, okay.
So the blue person would go first, and then the red person, and then the yellow person.
Okay. All right, you show me first, and then I'll try it, okay?
Okay. You just want to hit the ball. Basically, there's two ways. You can hit it like this, or you can hit it like this, or this, depending on your how you're more comfortable.
It reminds me, is this where golf started?
I'm not sure. They might have been related.
Somehow related, right?
Yes, I'm sure they're related. Hitting the ball with a stick.
Okay, show me how you hit it through there, though.
Ah.
Okay?
Yes. So, you hit it through the wicket.
Ah.
And each time you hit it through a wicket, you get another shot. And then you head to the next wicket. And this would be a very bad shot. But
okay.
You get the idea.
All right, now I'm going to try it, okay? I'm going to try it. How do you know where you start?
You put your ball, you can put it a mouse head distance from the wicket, or from the post.
Okay, and you just
hit it hard. Yes. That was a very good shot.
Okay, hit it hard. I did. Wait a minute. You said you could do it.
Yes, you could do it that way too.
Okay.
There we go. Not the Olympics for you.
They didn't tell me I was going to be doing this today.
Yay!
That's about it. Hey, this takes a little practice, that's all.
And the grass is very tall.
And the grass needs to be cut.
Yeah.
Right, so the balls could go further. I'm getting carried away at the carriage event at Cairnwood Estate. Hello, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Tell us about the honey you have on display here.
Just across the street, they've developed a garden recently, and they've got some beehives down there. So our local gardener has been collecting honey since they've been in production and jarring them, bottling them up, and we sell them here for those who want it.
I heard that it's a healthy thing, honey, you know, in tea or honey, even when you're sick. I remember when I was a kid. Very nice. It is all natural, right? 100%.
Yep, all natural.
Thank you. And what do you do here at Cairnwood Estate? What is your name?
My name is Robin. I am actually in charge of the books and the accounts.
Okay. Hey, someone's got to take care of all that.
We're running the cash register at the moment.
Okay. Hi, how are you today?
Fine, thank you.
And what is your name?
I'm Carol Henderson.
And tell us about this beautiful car here.
It's a 1927 Packard purchased by Raymond Pitcairn, who was one of the John Pitcairn children who grew up in this house. Raymond had the Packard customized because the family's fortune was involved in Pittsburgh plate glass, and so he wanted PPG glass in the car. He also had the roof raised 4 inches so that he didn't have to take off his Stetson hat when he got in and out of the car. Years ago, he gave the car to his nephew Stephen Pitcairn, who sold it to a man in Germany who used it for trans-European car races. It came back to the United States 4 or 5 years ago. Someone in Wisconsin contacted the family, said, "We've got the car, are you interested?" And the family, of course, was interested, brought it back to Bernathen, and it's used now for family weddings, for the 4th of July parade, just for fun, events like this.
Let me see. What do you have there? Did you plant seeds?
One.
One? And what is it going to grow into?
I don't know.
You don't know? It's going to grow into a plant?
Yes.
Yes? Did you see the sheep here today?
Yes, and it's my family's.
And what did they do to that sheep today?
They sheared it.
They sheared it. What are they going to use the wool for, do you know?
A sheepskin to lie on.
To lay on? So when you're cold? Oh.
Right there. That's the junk of it, and that's part of a dead sheep meat's wool.
Oh, and will that keep you really warm in the wintertime when it's cold?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was lying on it with my warm potato, and it made me cooler and warmer.
Did you see the big horse, the big white horse that's pulling with the carriage ride? Did you see that?
Yep.
Did you go on it?
No, not yet.
Not yet, but you're going to do that today? Yeah?
Yep.
And did you... Why are all these ladies dressed in the long dresses, do you know?
Yes, because it is, there were people dressed up that's beautiful.
That is beautiful. And then a long time ago, that's what the ladies wore, right?
Uh-huh. And my mom put on a hoop skirt under her regular skirt.
Is that how that dress got so big? She wore a big hoop under that skirt?
Yep.
That's the secret. I didn't know that.
Uh-huh. And a long time ago, ladies wore shoes that are black, not metal beautiful ones.
Oh, like they wore those black boots, everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think they wore boots all the time?
Because they thought it would look beautiful.
Aw, thank you. And what is your name?
Benjamin Eli Jackson.
Oh, that's a big name for a little boy.
Uh-huh. And my mom's name is Mama. She's in there sewing in that big building. Uh-huh.
Well, thank you so much, Benjamin. And I hope that what you planted in here grows into a beautiful plant.
Mm-hmm.
We love you, Heart of Philly.
love you, heartfully.
Thank you. Bye, Benjamin.
Bye.